You don't need a funny voice or a full-on Halloween costume to make your NPCs unforgettable. You just need to create a clear first impression and have a solid understanding of who that character is and what they want. That's it. Sounds simple, right? But how do you actually do that? Well, in this video, we're diving into how to create memorable NPCs, whether they're just a shopkeep, a quest giver, or the big bad evil guy or gal at the end of your campaign. I'll teach you 7 tools actors and screenwriters use to develop characters, and I'll give you a simple step-by-step list you can use for every NPC and every villain. By the way, I'm Jace, I'm an actor, I'm a screenwriter and a DM for over 10 years, and I like my D&D very cinematic, full of interesting characters and high-stakes choices every session. So what do you say we make your characters pop? The spotlight moment. When you introduce a character, your players should immediately understand who they're meeting. That's what I call the spotlight moment. In theater, when an actor steps on a stage, the audience knows who they are within seconds. Not because of what they say, but how they appear. You don't have to explain it, they just feel it. Let me give you a real example. In one of my campaigns, the players met the Black Staff of Waterdeep, Vajra Safar. In Forgotten Realms canon, she's the youngest person ever to hold that title. She's brilliant, powerful, and already carrying more responsibility than anyone her age should. So, before that first scene, I had to make a choice. How did I want my players to perceive her? Because that perception would shape everything they believed about her going forward. Was Vajra going to be busy and dismissive, too wrapped up in her affairs to care about these unknown adventures and their quest? When the players enter her study, she doesn't even look up. 2 apprentices hover by the door, waiting for orders. She's standing in front of a floating chalkboard scrawled with arcane equations, her hands moving automatically as she adjusts glowing runes mid-air. Without turning, she says, "If this isn't about the wards falling, make it quick." That version makes her intimidating and unreachable. A woman whose time is more valuable than their entire party. Or was she going to be overwhelmed but trying to keep control? Brilliant but visibly stretched thin. When the party arrives, the door swings open to chaos. Papers are everywhere, some are floating, some are smoldering. She's rifling through a bookcase, muttering spell formulas, dictating to a quill that scribbles mid-air while she tosses another tome to the floor. Without even realizing she has guests, she says, No, that's not where... Oh, adventurers, right. One moment. She's frazzled, human, burning the candle at both ends. That version makes her sympathetic, even endearing, but not exactly commanding. Or maybe she's quiet, calm, confident beyond her ears, the kind of stillness that unnerves people. When the players step inside, everything in the room is in perfect order. A single candle flickers, her desk is clear except for a sealed letter and a glass orb that hums faintly. She looks up from her writing with slow precision, studies them for a beat too long, and says softly, "So, you're the ones everyone keeps talking about." This builds reverence and mystery. She's composed, dangerous, maybe even unreadable. Powerful, yes, but the players might immediately wonder if she's someone who could just as easily betray them. Same character, same lore, completely different spotlight moment. Because when that spotlight hits, your players should immediately understand who she is. And that first impression, dismissive, burdened, or mysterious, becomes their emotional anchor for this character for the rest of the campaign. That's the power of being intentional. But the spotlight isn't about making entrances dramatic. It's about making them understandable. Even if later you twist that perception and reveal a hidden side, that clarity is what makes the character feel real. The 3-question spine. So, now that your NPC steps into the spotlight with purpose, how do you make sure their behavior, tone, and choices actually make sense? You start by giving them a spine. This is where we start thinking like actors. Before any line comes out of their mouth, ask 3 questions. What's this NPC's intention right now? Why do they have it? What fear or pressure drives it? And what emotion or behavior are they using to get it? Let's make this practical. The guard at the gate says, "State your business." Without intention, it's just air. With intention, he wants to keep the peace. Why? Because the captain's watching and he's terrified of being blamed for another breach. So it's more performative. Behavior, tight jaw, quick sentences, eye scanning. State your business. But what if the guard likes using his authority? He's not afraid, he's frustrated. He's been stuck on this post for 10 years, answering to mages half his age, and his uniform is the only power he's got. Now his intention is to remind everyone he's in charge. The behavior, slower tempo, chin up, maybe a little cocky smirk when he says it. State your business. Same line. Different truth, different person. That's why intention matters. It's the emotional software running under every NPC you play. That's what gives your NPCs weight. And once you start doing this, you'll notice something. You don't need to remember every detail. The intention tells you how they'll respond to anything. The 5 minutes before. Let's add one more layer. Because even with intention, some NPCs still feel flat. Here's why. You're starting the scene too late. Actors use a trick called the 5 minutes before. Before every scene, they imagine what their character was doing 5 minutes ago, and they bring that energy into the moment. That's what makes them feel alive. A city magistrate who just finished arguing with a masked lord. She's still angry when the party walks in. Her voice is sharp, posture rigid, interrupting even when she agrees. Her temper isn't about the party, they're just standing in the blast radius. A retired adventurer turned innkeeper who's been reminiscing about the good old days. He's thrilled to see the party walk through the door. He leans over the counter like they're old comrades, starts swapping war stories they never shared, and calls them by the wrong names just because they feel familiar. He's too friendly, too fast, desperate to relive something through them. Or a village midwife who just lost a patient. She's calm on the surface, but every word is gentler than it should be. She apologizes when she doesn't need to. Her hands stay busy for no reason, and there's a heaviness behind her smile. You're not just playing angry, friendly, or kind. You're continuing momentum, and your players can sense it. When your NPCs feel like they have a life before the party arrived, the world feels real. Distinction through behavior. Here's where most DMs overcomplicate things. They think they need a different voice for every character. You don't. You just need different behavior. Behavior is what makes characters distinct, and you can do that with 3 toggles. First, tempo. How fast or slow they speak. Fast means urgency, nervousness, or energy. Slow feels grounded, deliberate, or commanding. Second, posture. Open posture shows confidence and warmth. Neutral feels polite or professional. Closed posture, closed arms, tense shoulders communicates defensiveness, fear, or distrust. And third, focus. Are they making direct eye contact, or is their gaze shifting? Do they seem distant, like their mind is elsewhere? That tells your players how connected or disconnected the character feels from them. Noble patron, slow tempo, open posture, direct, steady focus. Young fence, fast tempo, closed posture, shifting focus. Wizarding apprentice, medium tempo, open posture, distant focus. There you go. No accents, no prep, no stress. And if you want, by the way, a bonus layer, adjust your rhythm. Short, punchy sentences show confidence or irritation. Long, flowing lines, warmth and patience. Behavior is visual and believable. Your players don't need new accents and high-pitched voices. They just need a different energy. By the way, if you're finding this video useful or entertaining, I got a brilliant idea. Hit that like button and consider subscribing and chatting with me in the comments. It really helps me figure out what kind of D&D content you'd like to see. So thanks a bunch to everybody who does it. Stop info dumping and make it earned. Okay, let's tackle one of the biggest DM struggles, NPCs who dump exposition. It happens because we as DMs treat the information like a speech, not a conversation. But good screenwriters and actors know better. Every exchange has an intention. We go back to intention, I know. Even your info NPCs should have something they need in return for that information. And your players should always be able to give it to them. That's how information becomes earned. Use this formula. Intention, obstacle, trigger. Intention, what the NPC wants from the party. Obstacle, why they're hesitant to share. Trigger what player behavior will earn their trust. And here's how it looks without 3 characters. The noble patron wants validation. She needs to feel the party is worthy of her attention before she funds them. Obstacle, too many adventurers have wasted her coin. Trigger, when the PCs impress her with insight or respect, she finally lowers her guard and offers her support. The young fence wants protection. He's sitting on some valuable intel, but he's terrified of being caught between guilds. Obstacle, paranoia. Trigger, once the rogue in the party offers him a subtle signal of allegiance, he spills. The wizarding apprentice. She wants recognition. She spent years studying under a master who reminds her daily that she's still just a novice, and she's desperate to prove she belongs among the real mages. Her obstacle, she refuses to waste her time on people who don't appreciate the work it takes to master magic. She definitely has no respect for any warlock or sorcerer. Trigger, when a PC demonstrates genuine curiosity, quotes a bit of theory, or treats her like an expert, she lights up. Pride wins over caution, and she shares what she knows. Same structure every time. Intention, obstacle, trigger. Now, every info NPC can feel like a person and not a scripted vending machine, because information should feel earned, not handed out like a receipt. Build villains that trigger your players. Now we get to the fun part. Your evil villain isn't scary because of hit points or power. They're scary because they get under your player's skin. The best villains trigger the heroes. Here's how you do it. Option 1. Mirror a flaw. Your proud fighter meets a villain whose pride perfected. Every interaction stings like a mirror showing him a possible future. Option 2. Tempt an ideal. Your paladin believes freedom for all. Your villain offers freedom for some, maybe the paladin's loved ones, today, if they compromise. That's tension. Option 3. Corrupt a bond. Their ally is revealed to be undead. Now your grave cleric is directly opposed to their very existence. Add a physical tell, maybe eerily still, never blinking. Or maybe they move like a tiger circling their prey. You can get inspired by the great villains of entertainment, Jason from Halloween or Colonel Hans Landa from Inglourious Basterds, and write this on your villain's notes. I'm right because ... That's their truth. You're not playing evil, you're playing their conviction. Foreshadowing that lands. A powerful NPC should never appear out of nowhere. Foreshadow them. Build curiosity before they even walk on stage. Use the rule of 3 mentions: rumor, fact, cost. The queen bathes in the blood of her enemies after she has them executed. She dissolved the council overnight. She buried all 3 of her children before she was 40. Then, her entrance. The spotlight hits. Riot outside the castle. The players are ushered into the throne room. The queen calmly holds out her goblet as an attendant pours red wine. That's the power of foreshadowing done right. You don't just introduce a character. You prepare the audience for how they should feel when they finally meet them. Because when your NPC steps into the spotlight, the story shouldn't start there. It should pay off. The NPC One Sheet Builder. So, how do you turn all of these ideas into something you can use at your table every session? Well, now you've got the tools, and I wanted to make them very easy to use. I built a one-sheet template that puts everything from this video into a single clean page, your NPC's intention, obstacle, foreshadowing, etc. And even that one line for villains. I'm right because ... It's quick, simple, and built the way actors build characters from the inside out. You can fill it during prep or even mid-session if inspiration hits and you're feeling brave. I designed it so that you don't have to memorize anything. It's all right there in front of you, step by step. And you can grab it at the link in the description below. And the next time your players meet someone new, you'll already know exactly who that person is, inside and out. The bottom line, you don't need to put on a performance if that's not your vibe, but you do need to prepare the truth so that it's clear for you and so it can be clear for your players. With the tools we talked about today, give every NPC a clear first impression, a 5-minute pass, and an intention that collides with your players' goals. And then watch the table lean in. Alright, if you enjoyed this video, please click the like button so others can find it too, and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one, because it's gonna be good. And by the way, tell me in the comments, who's an NPC your players still talk about months later? And also maybe who's one that you thought would be really impressive and totally flopped. I really like reading the stories. And if you are a new DM or just looking to improve your DMing skills, check out my video on the 10 rookie mistakes to avoid, and check out my channel for other videos on role-playing like the pros. Until next time, roll high and stay in character. Goodbye.